decades-long agreement. Giovanna Guderi has this story.
These fires on the grounds of the Orthodox Church in Taibeh, in the occupied West Bank, were started by Israeli settlers. The St. George Monastery was built more than 1,500 years ago. Armed Israeli settlers have attempted to set fire to this holy site on at least 5 different occasions in the last month alone.
Which is centered around the false premise that the Palestinians are Muslims full of hatred against Jews and Christians. This narrative is refuted by the fact that the presence here is of Palestinian Christians, born and raised on this land.
The latest attack came in the form of Israeli authorities imposing taxes on church-owned properties. As the military wages its genocidal war in Gaza, the Israeli authorities here are taking the opportunity to roll out their plans. Last week, the municipality in West Jerusalem closed the bank accounts of the Orthodox Church and imposed taxes, retroactive to 1967, when Israel occupied the West Bank. Churches here own about 40% of the land in historic Palestine, but large parts of these lands have been annexed by the Israeli military, and illegal Israeli settlements have been built on their lands since 1948. According to a decade-long agreement, all religious entities are exempt from paying taxes. Churches own their private schools, colleges, universities, orphanages, and elderly nursing homes.
Israel will confiscate the properties and lands and use them for a pretext of not paying taxes. This will have a grave impact on the function of these institutions and the services they provide to the community.
While Israel continues to target and bomb churches sheltering displaced civilians in the Gaza Strip, it's also attacking churches here. By imposing taxes, building illegal settlements, and denying Palestinian Christians access to occupied East Jerusalem for important religious holidays, which are all flagrant violations of that historic agreement. The assaults by Israeli settlers and the right-wing government on Palestinian Christians, who stand as part and parcel of the identity and history of Palestine, show Christians here, like other Palestinians, are also struggling with Israel's occupation and forcible transfer. They also warn that the threats to their existence not only goes against historic and religious facts, but also against already existing legal documents that precede the creation of Israel.
Russia's foreign minister has warned discussions about security guarantees for Ukraine without the involvement of Moscow would lead to a road to nowhere. Sergei Lavrov made the comments during a bilateral meeting with Jordan's foreign minister in Moscow. Following separate U.S. meetings with Russia and Ukraine, European partners are working on a plan for long-term security guarantees. In northeast Ukraine, at least 14 people were injured in a Russian attack on a residential area of Sumy. Authorities say 3 children under the age of 6 were among those hurt. Several buildings and vehicles were destroyed by fire. A Russian drone strike has sparked a large fire at an energy facility in the Ukrainian port city of Odessa. Significant damage has been caused to the plant. At least 1 person was injured. The U.S. has sent 3 guided missile destroyers to the waters off Venezuela as part of efforts to fight drug cartels. In response, President Nicolas Maduro said he would deploy 4.5 million militia members. Earlier this month, Washington placed a $50 million bounty on Maduro, accusing him of leading a drug smuggling network.
With the plan, we are activating the militia throughout the country, from the north to the south, from east to west, in all defensive capabilities, so that no one will ever touch Venezuela.
South Korea has conducted a nationwide air raid drill in conjunction with ongoing military exercises with the United States. The exercises have been condemned by the North Korean leader. They've criticized South Korea's president for his attempt at improving ties while simultaneously conducting the war games. Jack Barton reports from Seoul.
Sirens blaring in Seoul. Part of a nationwide air raid drill involving people taking cover in thousands of designated shelters.
Considering that our country is still technically in a wartime situation, I think it's important to continue this kind of training.
Training that includes basic